I'm Father Lampe.
And I'm Father Schumacher.
I'm Father Pollman.
And we are the Associates. Welcome to another episode of Ask the Associates. Today we have our newest associate here at Ascension, Father Kent Pollman.
Glad to have you with us, Father.
Thank you. Glad to be with you. Glad to be with you as the new associate.
So we've got some fun, a little bit lighter questions to start us off. What are your favorite popes?
Oh, you put me first.
Yeah.
I haven't studied the popes very much, so I'm just going to go off like the top of my head and say Pope Benedict XVI.
That's good. Boy, if we're going like favorites, to be honest, I like St. Peter just because his flaws give me hope because he's also a saint. But then also, to be honest with you, Pope Pius XII. He just got the church through such a difficult period of church history. Clearly a very holy pope, although he's not canonized. So I'd have to go with really Pope Pius XII.
That's nice. The first one that comes to mind for me, a little bit maybe off the beaten path a little bit, is Leo XIII.
That's a good
Leo
choice.
XIII was long reigning pope at the end of the 1800s and wrote a lot of really beautiful encyclicals about different doctrinal and spiritual aspects. The founder of Catholic social thought in its modern form, kind of the modern formulation of that with Rerum Novarum and some other things. Popes down through history. I wonder if, I think I'm going to go ahead with Pius V, with the Dominican Pope who did a lot of things after the Council of Trent to really kind of put the church back on its feet after the kind of waves of the reformers, Martin Luther and some of the others. I think we owe a lot to him. Pius V did a lot for the church.
And wasn't he the one who was the first to wear all white as the Pope?
It's possible that's where that comes from, that he kept his Dominican habit, which was a white habit, and he just kept wearing it. And so after that, we kept the papal white as... Before him, actually, the custom was that the Pope was recognized. The particular papal garment was actually the red mozzetta.
Oh.
That was how you knew who the Pope was, if you didn't know who, and you were just trying to guess based on what they were wearing. The red mozzetta was the symbol of the papacy, because popes wore lots of different things, but that was their unique garment. But after Pius V, it seems that the white cassock became kind of standard. All right, well, here's another one. A little bit more into the personal workings of priestcraft.
Okay.
Has the bishop ever not approved a homily you've given?
I haven't had anyone complain, at least not to the bishop as far as I know, about my homilies. As far as I know, they've been pretty good, homilies in general. So I guess the short answer would be no. But I mean, this is also an opportunity just to talk about homily preparation in general as well. Oftentimes my ideal prep would be planning in advance. If I was going to do a series like I did with the Mass series, look at multiple weeks in advance and figure out which one would make the most sense for the different topics. Usually I don't do a series though, in which case I would spend some time with the readings in advance, starting with the Gospels, then usually the first reading, then looking at the second reading in the Psalm, praying with that and seeing if the Lord wants to speak to me through that or give me insights or inspirations as to what I should preach about. And when I was first here at Ascension, I would write out all of my homilies completely, but lately I've been just kind of writing down a few notes or just keeping it in my head and preaching from that basic outline.
Yeah, I think preparation for preaching it's really just kind of been taking promptings of the Holy Spirit and just the gift of reason which God has given us. So praying with the Scriptures is good. I look at that as if I had like a utility belt, that would be one thing. Obviously, preaching on opening up the liturgy of the church, the prayer of the church is another thing that I've really appreciated. And then sometimes, I don't know if you guys have encountered this. I think when it comes to those topics that you're kind of anticipating some resistance or maybe even some some blowback from, it's kind of odd extremes. Sometimes I'll go to great lengths to dispose the person and be as gentle as possible. And other times I'll find this is getting so long and so convoluted, I just need to be very direct with them on this homily. So I have found just about everything under the sun when it comes to preparing for preaching. It's because there's so many different things we cover in the faith and morals, and we're human beings. We have the full breadth of life, and there's a lot of gifts as far as how to convey truth.
Yeah, I'm the shortest tenured of the priests here. I haven't had any thing from the chancery, but of course we do get criticism on our homilies. That comes through sometimes. I think some of it probably gets filtered by our good pastor. God bless him for it. No, but it's true that priests have a task to teach the truth and the whole truth. We are, as St. Paul says, to give over the entire counsel of God. And some of those things are not nice. Some of those things are, we human beings are resistant to. We require conversion on. And so the practice, the art, the craft of a homily, especially when you're trying to teach something that someone may, or several someones may be resistant to, is a real question that I think we all take pretty seriously. Mm-hmm. Because it's no good to tell someone the truth in such a way that they're not going to listen to you and not going to put it into practice in their life, and we understand that. So what kind of techniques you use and how you frame things and how you show kind of the full picture and how this particular, perhaps difficult element fits into the broader picture, which we presume that people have kind of grasped and wish to be a part of. You're coming to Sunday Mass, we presume that you're in on this Catholic thing. So we can kind of leverage those things and say, well, okay, so this part might be more difficult, but remember that these other things also are part of this question. And so if you want these other things, perhaps that can help to bring you along on this harder thing. But yeah, as the other fathers have said, we take it pretty seriously. That we don't set about to irritate people or to kind of poke them. But sometimes people need to be poked so that they'll go in the right direction. I would say that I could think of an example, right? When I was going to give a homily that I knew was going to be a little bit more difficult, a little bit more pointed, and I started the preparation for that one much earlier than I usually do. Mm-hmm. I started that one on the Sunday before, and I was working out exactly how to say these things and what I wanted to say, what I didn't want to say, how I wanted to say them. I brought it to Father Molini. I brought it to a couple other priests that I know and trust and asked their opinion on how to say these things and kind of the best ways of doing it. And then you trust the rest of it, the work of preaching. I'm an instrument, and it's God's work, really, to engender divine life in the souls of his faithful.
Also, no, the Archbishop hasn't complained to me about any of my homilies yet.
I did notice you skipped that answer.
I just forgot.
Well, thanks, Fathers.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching another episode.
Please be sure to subscribe to Ask the Associates so that you can be aware of our future episodes.
Click the logo, and we'll see you next time. New episodes every Wednesday.